Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Early break. There, I was just waiting. And then the lady appeared, and I just tried to make a joke. I said, I thought everything was free today. And she said, if you take anything out of here, we will follow you home. I'm like, I was kidding. I'm not taking anything.
You're on the list, buddy.
Yeah.
You're on the list
I
now.
will follow you home.
I've had it happen a couple times or something.
People followed you.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Happy Monday. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, the Old School crew here. We're live at 1040 O Street. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients at Butcher Shop. 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andremat, and 168th and Maple. Obviously, there is a lot going on today, so happy everything. Obviously want to show appreciation and support for MLK Day. It's inauguration day, and we don't do politics, but it's it's obviously a day that needs to be respected and celebrated. And then also probably in our vortex, most importantly, you got the college football first 12-team college football playoffs championship game tonight. Ohio State against Notre Dame, as I used to call them. But we got some other stuff to kind of catch up on. The portal is still open. The portal is always open. It's 365, 24/7. Nebraska missed out on the big tackle from New Mexico State, so we'll ask you guys to text in with your thoughts on that. And then obviously, I think with classes starting tomorrow, I'm sure there's a little bit of a buffer there if you can, have somebody else come in. But then also the thoughts on the new enrollees. I think I saw on social media they're there. The men's basketball team played. Unfortunately, lost out there in Maryland. I know you guys have talked about it. Obviously, Strick's the expert. Probably just gives.
Well, he tells you he's the expert.
Well, he's played in those type of games. He's an expert.
He is. I'm just giving him a hard time.
And we can start there. Just for you guys again, could text in. Number one, we're gonna dive into NFL big. You Chiefs fans out there, it is war this week. Okay,
get ready.
Come on,
get ready.
Come on, Chiefs.
Jay's gonna bring it. Chiefs fans, let's
I'm gonna tell you right now, I hate the Chiefs. I hate the fans. You guys are annoying. You guys were never Chiefs fans back when you guys had Steve DeBerg.
You've hated Notre Dame longer, but you hate the Chiefs harder right now.
I actually I love Andy Reid. I like the Chiefs as an organization. I just think their fans right now just acting like punks, because everybody all of a sudden became Chiefs fans when they started to be really, really good. You never thought Patrick Mahomes was going to be that good. You were turning your nose up at Alex Smith, but you want to take credit for him as now when he went on to do great things. But you weren't wearing your Chiefs stuff when you had Steve Bono, when you had Steve DeBerg, and all the Matt Castle and all those guys and all that stuff. But
Tyler Thigpen
and all that. But the Chiefs are a great organization. You don't win that. All jokes aside, it's going to be a good game. And you got one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and definitely the best of his era right now. and the guy that's trying to nip on his heels, to get break through with my Buffalo Bills, which is, the team that it's kind of like your, I don't know, I ain't gonna go into that, but it's.
Well, it wouldn't be like the Bills to lose 4 big games in. I
mean, come on, Austin. I mean,
I'm with you on the Chiefs stuff, but
man.
Funny.
It's just you, all you guys, man. Just between Bach came in throwing blows. Rico's just Rico. Man, I'm tired of this, man. You guys are just disrespectful. But it's cool though. We're gonna, before we get to it, we'll just go back to men's basketball. And here's what I think where we're at. I think they played obviously better than Purdue. I think they had multiple chances to win. It's just that I think they got started a little bit too late in the rhythm. Yeah. I just think Maryland hit some crucial shots. I think, you got to think where, Julian Reese and Derek Queen didn't do anything spectacular, but Gillespie was out of control. And
baller.
And Rodney Rice hit some big shots. Mm-hmm. He hit some big shots from the left corner and the left wing. I call it the pocket. That's pretty much what won them the game. For me, and it's not that they scored, it's how they scored and when they scored. A big 3 when Nebraska needed to stop, and a couple of them were really, really good defense. The one that Rice hit towards their bench, the 3, Juwan Gary had a great closeout. It just, just got hit in your face.
Miguel hit that one over Euless when he was there on catch.
Those are things that would happen, and I think just some, you just got to execute and get, get started earlier, especially on the road. And you got to be excited about what you've been seeing from Andrew Morgan. Obviously, I think he kept them in the game, but then you would have liked to seen more from Bryce. You would have liked to seen more authoritative type of behavior. And this is just from me just sitting on my butt and watching. And then obviously you'd like to see Juwan get busy and Burkett get busy. That's what you have to do on the road. But then you can't say it's easy. You just don't. You're not just going to go to Maryland and roll off the bus, get out of bed and win in College Park. It's not. They're too good of players, too good of coaching staff, too good of pride. And so you have to really play well. And that's what people need to understand. It's like, it's not a foregone conclusion Nebraska's going to go on any road game and win. That's why it shouldn't be any foregone conclusion anybody comes here and win. That's why it's such a big loss when you lose the Rutgers, more importantly, how you lost. And so, the one thing I want to say, though, is give it up to Sam Hoiberg and Euless, but more importantly, Sam Hoiberg. Euless didn't really shoot that well from the field, but he was effective in other ways. I saw Sam play in high school. And I've seen Fred play when he was with the Timberwolves. And so, but to see how he's progressed both on and off the court, and the type of kid he is, and also fighting. Look, obviously everybody knows who my dad is, right? I mean, it's, if you don't, then that's on you. I know what it's like playing the same sport, and actually, I can give him a little bit more credit because he's playing the same position as his dad versus I played defense. Now,
not for lack of trying at running back, but
it was lack of reality. It was actually reality. Lawrence Phillips, I'm out. Amon Green, I'm double out. I'm cool. I like this defensive thing, and I never played before. So for him, I want to give him credit just because of granted, he had to work himself into Big Ten worthy physical, shape or whatever you want to call it. And then he had the opportunity when some guys got hurt, right, with Ramel Lloyd, and then remember they got hurt. Kind of he had that tricky ankle, injury, and some other guys didn't take advantage of it. Even Rice last year and some other guys, and he just kept his nose to the ground and just kept working. And then he got in and he would make special. I equated him to like a Larry Izzo making special teams tackles. So he was a specialist at first. End of the quarter, end of half, or end of I call a quarter in this day and age. It calls basketball with halves before the TV break. So you could put him in, he cause some havoc. You know what I mean? Give guys a little bit break. Well, then you start to see him progress offensively a couple of games, hit some open threes, get to the rack, be crafty, and then you see him now. Where every time I see him, like, hey, you could play a little rover. But I already know you got the mentality because he's jacked up, right?
Yeah.
And he got that Barry White voice too. So I want to give him credit because of the consistency that he's played with, and under the extreme amount of pressure. You can say if Fred wasn't the coach, he wouldn't get a chance. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that could be your argument. But see, that's that like back. I call it a backdoor, like underground drive-by hating type of compliment. Like you're only good because your dad's here. Okay, well, are you good or not? Because he ain't had it easy.
No.
Now I know Fred doesn't really get like too amped up. I guarantee he made it hard on him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I know Fred decent enough when I see him, I'll conversate with him, and I know how it is. I know he's old school first of all, and he ain't gonna give you nothing. So I know he's worked to get there, and sure, he might have got the initial, walk on, but anybody would have accepted him to walk on.
Oh,
and he could have went other places to start and play at a lower level and worked his way up.
Well, and his work, I mean, behind the scenes is one thing, but even if you want to discount the work behind the scenes, he's putting up enough results that he's earned everything he's getting.
And he's done it. He'll do the dirty work, and he's tough. He's consistent. I'm telling you, man, when you turn on the TV, that's one thing you're going to get. Now, I will tell you this: they all play hard, and this is one thing that you have to also know. And this is where your advantage when you're a smaller player. Everything you do looks faster than Burke or anything like that.
Right.
But I think that with him, and then obviously Andrew coming off the bench and being consistent, and I'll get in Connor Season, he hit a couple big threes. He probably needs to, we need to probably find a way to get him some other, open looks and stuff, because, when he's open, it's pretty much cash money records. But I want to also, I just want to give Sam Hoiberg his props. Now, he probably don't want the props when they lost, but I'm gonna give it to you anyways, because I know the immense pressure that he's under every day that he walked into that locker room, walked into practice. People were saying, they might not have been saying it, they were thinking it. And so for him to have that type of attack mentality where every day he's going to take your respect, he didn't get any. He had to take it from. So you got to adopt that mindset with the athletic ability. And then, I think they'll get, out of this little slump here. And then you just need some guys to step up, man. You got to find a way. I think for me, playing against a team like Maryland, even though they're pretty like big and athletic, I'd like to see more shots. I think 58 shots for this type of team with this type of size and spacing, and then also versatility. I think we need to try to create some more easy opportunities. But then also we need to attack the glass though too.
I was just going to ask, how would you, with this roster, go about creating more of those opportunities? Because to me, there's really one of two ways. But how would you approach it?
I'm big into the different groups.
Hockey subs?
No, I'm not line shifting.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen that around here in Lincoln. That ain't work. I'm talking about like the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mixing and matching groups to where I can create some stuff. So everybody has a very clear identity of what they're supposed to do. Now go do it. Okay, you guys aren't doing it. So then now we need somebody else to do it. Now, I think we could get out into the break more. I think it would actually help a guy early in the games like Juwan Gary to get some, hey, unless you're wide open on three, I want you to think about driving. I call it drive and dive, drive and kick. I want you attacking the glass. Okay. I don't want you do not come out there not turn on 1,000. Okay. Yeah. I'm talking about, I want you downhill going through people versus you shooting outside and then I'd rather dial you down, especially with him. Also, like a little bit of, especially with Raleigh is a little bit of that Sam Griesel type of, like, he could be that back down guard, right?
And they did that against Iowa a few times.
Right. And I like that. Then I could maybe match. Now, look.
And he's a good enough passer to keep a live dribble and throw those one-handed skip passes,
right.
If you can read it.
To the Seagens or to whoever's hitting it.
Run a flare for a Seagen from top the key to the wing with Raleigh on a block. Boom.
And I like it. And maybe run a little bit of 2-game with a Seagen and Burke, right? Where you can get a pick and pop, because Burke can, he can pull up. He got a nice little jumper, pull it, secondary.
It's coming around.
Secondary, North Carolina break or whatever you want to call it. Secondary,
I refuse to call it that, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, secondary break. That's North Carolina. I'm just letting you know. That's, but he can hit the top of the key. So I think if you can get some of that, and then also really, really have some guy, because I think every single one of our guards can rebound. And then I would also encourage Bryce to really get out on the wing, and then once he get in the wing, he's crafty enough, and he has the size, and he has more strength than what people think, to be a little bit more aggressive going to the rack, because I'd rather chance him making a decision or going to the rack with Gary with secondary break, and then you can get Braxton Mia and obviously especially Andrew Morgan as the rim runner, and we're big enough and athletic enough to get it up off the glass if we have to. That when Bryce gets to the free throw line, I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll create more shots, because then once they start to over exaggerate and play, maybe the break or mini break, well, then now you're bringing a siege in and all those. Now they're getting wide open threes, trails,
Yeah.
and you stepping right in it. So it's essentially just like a training. They do that where they come down, hit a three, go back, and all that. So, it's tough when you get into Big Ten and you let a couple go, and you go back and you say, okay, could we pulled out the Iowa game and or the Rucker game? That loss that wouldn't be as bad. Now when you're on a little bit of a skid with a couple, big blowouts, you can't panic, because you got to continue to do it, and you got to just encourage guys. The one thing is just the energy, right? Am I right with that?
That's fair.
On the road has to be manufactured, right? You know how like when Nebraska went and played Purdue?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you got to bring your own, what they call juice.
But I see Purdue is different than Maryland to me, because I think you have to bring your own juice, whatever you want to call it, less at Purdue, because that is such an emotionally charged.
I was talking about football.
Oh, football, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
You remember
Yes. Ross
right?
State Stadium.
Right. At 11 o'clock.
Oh.
You got to remember they're saying you got to bring your own juice. I think they did the Oklahoma drill.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you have to do. So that's where you got to really, really get guys going and be more on edge, right? So you start quick, right?
Right. That one, you'll go out to Washington for a super late body clock tip-off. That's going to be another one of those coming up.
So you get it on both ends, early or late. You got to really manufacture that energy. And then obviously, you got to continue to work on hitting the boards as a team. We out-rebounded them in total. Julian Reese had a couple big defensive rebounds that we needed, where he cranked. He was smart, where he realized he wasn't really getting a lot of opportunities offensively. So then he's like, I'm going to do what the family business is, and that's attack the boards. And he came up big. But nevertheless, Nebraska got a big game against a gettable USC team on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. And so you got to welcome them to the bank. So we'll move on from that. They'll be, better, moving forward from that. And then, we'll get everything will be all figured out. Then Fred will be the great coach like we all know he is. And then the players are the greatest. But right now they just got to make sure they stick to the process and do what they need to do. But we got about 4 minutes left, Austin. And I'm going to leave it to we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs. It was Jaden Daniels is everything that's advertised. When you think of, and this is no different than college and pros. When you have a head coach that can get down on the level of the players and the players trust him, and then also here's what's most important. Everybody's big on culture. That's what Dan Quinn is. Okay. Culture is this is what it is. Dan Quinn comes in with the blueprint. Bobby Wagner, Eckler, Jaden Daniels, Jonathan Allen, Payne, all those guys, McLaurin, they set the culture. And then you know what else they did? They drafted the corner from Michigan. He has a funny last name, who's a former receiver and played 1 year defensive back, and they drafted him. They drafted McCaffrey. So you're drafting guys that that can fit into a locker room and into the culture that is set forth by the blueprint of not only Dan Quinn, but new ownership, Peter's the GM, and then everybody else around it. So that's how it starts. That's how it starts up at top, and then it's all just trickled down. And, whether you saw the thing with Magic Johnson, he's like, hey, look, we give them the tools and everything they need, and he lets Dan Quinn and them go do it. And that's when you think about Jaden Daniels showing up in Detroit in a game that nobody expected them to win, but not only win, but win in that fashion. That's how it happens.
And I think you can flip that over with the Lions as well, right? How did Dan Campbell switch things around there. It was the culture first, right? Getting guys that would buy into it, and then really savvy drafting by home, some pretty good free agent signings up and down there. When you look at Washington, Jay, I think that's a great example too of seeing an ownership group that cares. But sometimes I think owners think, oh, to show that I care, I have to get myself involved. I have to get myself invested.
Yeah, no, not at
No,
all.
if you care, you're supportive. You give your guys, the ability to be empowered to do what they're good at, what you hired them to do, and then you let them go win football games, right? How many times are franchises screwed up because the owner, in an assumedly earnest effort to help, gets too involved, tries to make football decisions when, even if they're a football lifer, it's not their job. They're not as qualified to do it as the people they hired. So you can have a big care factor and be pretty hands-off in the day-to-day. We're seeing that in Washington, where there's clearly a renewed level of investment in the franchise, not just monetarily, but a different emotional kind of sense. It starts at the top. They hire a guy in Peters that works for them, Dan Quinn right underneath them, and then they get players that fit, that are legitimately involved and view it as, this is not just our team, this is our future here as a program, as an organization.
Yeah, I mean, it's also pretty special when you have different, and he has experience of, obviously, he with the hockey team was the Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
So he's the owner. So he gets what is he's a little bit ahead of the track in the new age of ownership versus Daniel Snyder was just, I don't know what he was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that helps him out too. Plus, I would tell you this, coming in after Daniel Snyder is a lot easier than taking over a team that you don't, all the eyesores are out there. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 20. I don't got to do those. So just by not doing that, it's better. But what
you don't have to be good, just be less bad.
But what he did was is interesting, right? He bought the team, brought in Bob Myers from Golden State. That was helping him from an advisory standpoint. Who to hire, what's winning look like? How did you guys really take over Golden State after kind of so-so ownership and leadership, and turn it around to one of the marquee franchises in the NBA and obviously recent history? And he just took the same model. Now he took the same model in the sense of, okay, all right, we got investment from Magic Johnson. Well, guess what? When you're in DC and you have a big name like that with that type of personality, now you got credit throughout the DMV.
Yeah.
Now you got an owner that wants to be involved, but only to the point of an owner, and then he steps out. Then you have Magic that has ownership experience with the Dodgers. So another, like, you got the coast right there, but you have two marquee blue blood franchises that he's an ownership in, and plus he's an all-time Laker. Then you hire Peters, who has an eye for talent, is, for a GM, is not one of the guys that likes to be out in front. Very rarely see him. Just saw him just as GMs come down right before the game. And then they had Dan Quinn. And that's where the respect goes right there. And then Dan Quinn is able, and he went and got guys that he trusted. Bobby Wagner. He had a affinity for Eckler, right? Because of playing against him and knew what type of player he was. Not asking him to be the Eckler from 5 or 6 years ago. Just be the guy I need you to be. You're able to get those guys because they trust you, that you're not bringing them there for a year and then get rid of them.
Right.
So these guys are going to be there for, 2, maybe 3 years. And then you're able to kind of hand the baton down to the guys in the future. And then it's going to be rinse and repeat. In a perfect example of this is that, I don't mind saying it, my friend, Blake is Jonathan Allen's agent. Jonathan Allen worked diligently to come back just for the hope that they were going to make it, all because of Dan Quinn. Normally guys get hurt, you're on injured reserve, you just shut it down.
Yeah.
That's where you get those guys to be able to go. And then it was the perfect storm going up to Detroit, where, Jared Goff was a little bit off and the defense just was not very good.
And they had 16 guys on injured reserve.
Yeah. And Robertson broke his arm literally in half, and that kind of takes the wind out of your sails. And with the two coordinators essentially getting pulled in both ways, we saw this last year.
Well, Johnson just got hired today.
Yeah, he got hired
after
with the
the
Bears.
game.
Right. So it was in the works. So we saw this last year with Dan Quinn and the Cowboys. How bad you just can't do both.
Yeah.
And saying, and I don't think that's really, like the reason why, but it's just the little details. And plus, I think the time off hurts you, even though you need it, because it makes a little bit of idle mind. You probably play on being at home too much, when actually a seasoned team that's healthy with a quarterback that's hot, that don't know any better, that's a dangerous team that you want. You'd probably rather play Tampa because you know that you kind of know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting with Jaden Daniels, and they definitely are playing with nothing to lose. Also, with a revamped and refocused offensive coordinator, former head coach, than the Bachelor, a.k.a. Cliff Kingsbury, who's made himself a lot of money and made himself appealing to future head coaching opportunities with his connection to Jaden Daniels.
And not just future bachelorettes.
Yeah, I'm sure he's doing pretty well in that situation. And then also, he's shown the ability to recover after the situation with Kyler Murray. So that's how you get that. So Washington was able to upset them. Philly was able to hold serve in an exciting game against the Rams. And then so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk about these Chiefs. Here's what I want to pose to you, Austin. Do you think the Chiefs the NFL's on the hook to try to get the Chiefs pushed through? Or do you think they're just winning? Or a little bit of both? You know, Strick is big into conspiracies.
He was this close to breaking out the tinfoil hat today.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyways, we'll take a quick break. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
It's the new year, and it's time for a new John Deere. Acres has all new John Deere compact tractors, mowers, and Gator UTVs on sale with money-saving financing options. Whether it's recreation or landscaping, Acres has the John Deere for you. Visit your local Acres store for details. And don't forget, Acres has a full lineup of used equipment as well. Act now. These incentives expire January 31st, 2025. Financing program subject to proof credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions may apply.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Hey farmers, join Boyk Farm Outfitters at Precision Planning's Winter Conference happening January 22nd and 23rd at Innovation Campus in Lincoln. At Winter Conference, They'll cover topics like fertilizer inputs, weed management, spraying technologies, and priorities of the planter pass, to name a few. It's your chance to see new research that'll put you and your farm ahead of the curve, and it's free to attend. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this event's for you. Visit BoykFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies, and it will be breezy and cold with an afternoon high of just 10. Tonight, mainly clear skies and a very cold night with a low of 8 below. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies, be breezy and warmer, the high near 26. I'm meteorologist Kyle, like 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Austin Oerman, Jay Foreman? Segment 2, 4 o'clock hour. We are on to the Chiefs skating through against the Texans. I will say this. I felt like the Chiefs were going to win. Obviously, they're excellent at home. Patrick Mahomes, the one thing about him, he's obviously a great talent. I think his throw, I'll get into it more. I don't understand why people don't cover Travis Kelce. I just do not understand it.
Same way you didn't cover Dell, right? No.
Who? Come on. What the hell is going on? What is this? What are you talking
Did
about?
they just forget about Travis Kelce like the same way you forget about Dallas Clark?
I didn't forget about Dallas Clark.
Okay, do you think they're forgetting about Travis Kelce?
There's a teammate I had that forgot to cover Dallas Clark. Won't name any names.
But do you think they forget, or do you think that he just gets open?
I think, well, obviously he's great, but I just think it's just, you saw it last year with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Just I know. Look, you had Rasheed Rice and all them, but Travis Kelce's going to beat you.
Like he has for 7 years now.
He's going to beat everybody. He beat the Ravens. I mean, you have to cover him. You have to.
Mahomes is falling down. He's in the air.
Number one,
and you lose him.
First of all,
you lose him.
If Travis Kelce, if I'm in the red zone, and Travis Kelce is running like in my zone, I'm gonna go cover him. Now you catch it over me, that's fine. I'm not gonna let you catch it without me being
draped all over.
Right.
Yeah.
Make him throw it somewhere else. You can deal with that.
Anywhere else.
And so I think I thought the Chiefs would win. Obviously, I think their defense is really, really good, and I think Houston's offensive line has been porous all year. I think C.J. Stroud was sacked not the most, but the second most all year. And obviously, that's not even counting the hits. And it's weird because Joe Mixon has been so good in the run game. Their pass protection should be better, but they just struggled with stunts upon stunt. They can't block stunts, and so they're just really struggling, especially in the interior part of their defense or offensive line. And then obviously with the injuries, big injuries. Obviously Tank Dell, the last time that Houston was up there, I think that he got hurt, made a great touchdown catch. I just felt like they didn't have enough firepower to do it, and they wouldn't have enough time.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't have guys that can get open. And I think that, the Chiefs defense led the way, and then Patrick Mahomes and the offense, they're just going to do what they need to do. And so I felt like, the Chiefs had the advantage and was going to win, as the game started. But I'm going to tell you this, though, like, to go in these games and to go into Kansas City and know that they're going to get the calls. That's factual. They're going to get some. If there's anything 50-50, they're getting the call. And it's the same way with Brady. I'm sure it was maybe the same way with Joe Montana and all that and the great ones. I think it's probably a little excessive, especially when you have NFL referee saying that's not a penalty. Troy Aikman is saying that's not a penalty. And here's how big a call like this is in the whole scheme of this game. You had the snafu with the dude from Houston losing his mind
on the opening kickoff.
And I would ask him, like, I know, do you think you get more jacked up than the other, than I was?
Right.
Like,
I'm the coordinator. I'm pissed too.
like throwing helmets and he wasn't pushing the coach that he was mad at him. He was hyped. I mean, I do know that. You out of control. Okay, that's
First
fine.
snap of the game.
Exactly. But it looked like a fumble to me. Didn't look like a fumble to everybody, but whatever. But then Houston's defense came out there and held serve. And then the penalty when Will Anderson hit Patrick Mahomes. Here's the problem. It was not a helmet to helmet because it's all about the initial contact. So if I initially hit you in your shoulders and go up, it's not helmet to helmet.
That's incidental.
Incidental, right? And it's no different if you raise or lower your target area. It's not.
Except that call, the raising or lowering, we never see. Especially in college.
Right. That's where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. It needs to be, looked at on an individual basis. But that was third down. It was an incomplete pass. They got 15 yards, plus they kept the ball. The next play, they hit Kelsey on like a 20 or 30-yard kind of deep over route, or kind of like I call it a snake route. Well, then now they give up. I think they might have scored a touchdown. Well, that's 7 points based on a judgment call that they have the opportunity to go back and pick up the flag. They didn't even hesitate to do it. They treated that like it was truly helmet to helmet and targeting. And then the one where the two defenders hit themselves and it's a late slide. See, I think you would nullify that if it's a late slide and it's called in from New York, even if Kansas City kept the ball and you move them back 15 yards. So if you don't give if you want to eliminate these like 50 late slides, send them back 15 yards. Send the offense back 15 yards. That will eliminate it. That will eliminate it right there. Because whether it was when Patrick Mahomes played against, I think I was looking at the notes here, Carolina down there, and he was running on the sidelines and he kind of slowed down. Defenders stopped. So you don't want to hit Patrick Mahomes. That's how you got to play him. So you don't want to get a 15-yard penalty, and he rolls out for 30 more yards. Mm-hmm. Well, you got to eliminate all that, because what's going to happen is you're going to get some player that's going to take a shot at him, and now your marquee quarterback might be out for some time.
Yeah.
And so, and plus it's just not a good look. And so, the Chiefs get some calls. They do. And the way that you got to coach around it, you got to be really, really aggressive. You got to be like the Bengals. But you want to get hits on every quarterback, but you're not going to be able to get the cumulative hits unless you have a porous offensive line that you're going against, like Houston. Kansas City's offensive line, even though they're struggling, they're not going to be that bad. So my thing as a defensive coordinator, if you're close and you're hitting him in the act of throwing, yes, but otherwise,
and make it count.
Yes, and if you're actively trying to sack him,
yeah.
But if you think that you're trying to get the hit as he's throwing, I'd actually be okay with you pulling off. I'd actually rather you push and shove him in the chest or tap him or touch him.
Hip, something.
Yeah, something. Yeah. So he knows that you're there, but then you can't, because what you don't want to lose the game based on a bad call, because they ain't going to pick up the flag up no matter what. The league could send and say, oh, we had to review. It doesn't matter. We've seen that in Nebraska. It don't matter. And it's hard because you want your defense how you beat Kansas City is playing like that. But you won't beat Kansas City at Kansas City, leaving it up to any type of leeway for them to get some penalties and stuff like that. So, they benefited off of that. There's a little bit of lack of experience, from Houston. CJ was taking some hits. It's just, it's a little different. It's a little different going into Kansas City.
Is it any different than going into Foxborough was? Brady being in the pocket might be a little different.
Yeah, they got some calls. Yeah, I don't think to this magnitude.
That would be interesting to go back and track, because
Brady took some hits, though.
He did. Different era of the NFL. And you got to know the era you're playing in, and this era probably has to toughen up a little bit as well. But to go back to the question you asked me before break, do I think it's some, grand conspiracies, the league trying to push Kansas City through? I'm sure it doesn't hurt the league to have the best player, in the NFL, widely respected and voted so by his peers in there.
Yeah.
But come on, it's little old Kansas City. It's Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
It's Kansas City. When has any sports league in the history of ever favored Kansas City?
Because they got Patrick Mahomes.
But it's Kansas
But
City.
it's Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not saying there's nothing there. I'm not saying it's everything, right? Because guess what would also be good for the league? Hey, Mahomes revenge tour. Let's let Josh Allen beat him, or let's let Lamar Jackson beat him. Because guess what? These are some other heavy football markets with some really marketable superstars who statistically have outplayed or played even with Mahomes.
You got it. The whole
in the playoffs.
You know what Kansas City makes you do?
Beat him twice. Kill him all the way dead.
Yeah, that. But you know what they make you do? Here's why Kansas City beats everybody. Here's it is for you Chiefs fans. I'm gonna give you guys credit. And I'm two things I'm gonna say. The refs didn't make Houston miss an extra point. They didn't make Houston try to kick a 55-yard field goal. They didn't make Houston not cover Travis Kelce multiple times, just running wide open.
Well, they outgained Kansas City by 100 yards.
Right.
Didn't turn the ball over.
Right, but they
usually recipe for success.
But there's things that they didn't do that you can't do, and you have to do what you did offensively. They also didn't make you go for it on 4th and 10 when I think it was like in a 1-point game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all those things. But here's what Kansas City makes you do, and this is why they win, and this is why it's along the Patriots. In order to beat Kansas City, everybody's got to be invested. That's it. That straight up. That's it. Everybody has to be invested. Because everybody on that roster is invested. Everybody on that coaching staff is invested. Everybody, that's how they beat you. That's the difference. Because you know what? Whether it's a guy that he plays for Cincinnati right now, he's a linebacker that hit Patrick Mahomes out of bounds, or it's somebody else, not being invested in, say, oh, I'm in a meeting, I'm the backup, I don't got to listen. Well, Austin rolls his ankle, you're in. I didn't know I was supposed to do that. Well, I got beat. Oh, that's how they beat you. Because they're invested. That's how they like it. It literally, I'm reading it. Everybody's invested in winning and doing what it takes to win and doing their job. Yeah, they make mistakes. Yeah, it doesn't look pretty, but they're all invested.
And it's a 20-week thing for Kansas City, not a 17 or 18-week thing.
They're all invested, and they're there for the right. They're all, and so whether it's how they scout, develop, hold guys accountable. That's how they beat you, man. They find it sooner or later. Whoever they'll show you. Those guys will show you. Are you invested? Are you? I mean, do you ever see Kansas City do like the first play of the game that do? You don't see that.
No.
They're invested in what. That's how they beat you. Because when you're fully invested in winning, you're not doing all those type of things. That's why they had problems. They got problems with a Joe Burrow, with a Josh Allen, and Tom Brady, and especially Joe Burrow and Tom Brady, because those two dudes in probably this year's version of Josh Allen, they can make up for some of the deficiencies that you have on, like, whether it's talent or Josh Allen can make the same amount of plays. Tom Brady can make the same amount of plays. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady can manipulate and control the pace of the game, not even being out there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Especially when you look at when the Patriots went in there last time. So they can beat you at their own game.
And that's where it's, I think, tough for some of these teams that haven't been able to get over the Kansas City hump recently, is that they haven't been there. They haven't won a game like that. They don't know what it takes. But like you've said, you got to act it. You become a champion before you are a champion.
Yeah.
Right. You become a Chiefs killer before you actually kill the Chiefs in a game like this. Right.
Yep.
Cincinnati a few years ago at Arrowhead. Right. They hadn't beaten Kansas City till they did, but it wasn't just a one-game thing. Right. Buffalo knows what it takes to almost beat Kansas City, but Baltimore knows what it almost takes to beat Kansas City. Houston can talk itself into being a possession or a few plays away from it, but they haven't done it yet. You can't fall back on, well, we don't know what it takes because we haven't done it yet. You got to do it, and then it validates the work you did being what it takes.
But but it starts in the offseason. It's like going from, I guess, say like Nebraska's case, 6 to 10 wins. A lot of times the easy way of thinking of it, like, okay, well, we just go get this coach, this player, roll them out there, do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's usually the players that have like that fill the gaps that help you get over the hump, right? A great example is Drew Tranquil.
Yeah.
Right. It was a really good, and I can't even believe I'm giving him credit. He's a former Notre Damer, but actually, he's actually a pretty cool dude. And
he's on the Marcus Freeman side of things with Notre Dame.
Yeah, he pretty slick.
He's somewhere between Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame in your hate scale.
He's pretty slick, but he plays the right way. Played the right way. Was underappreciated at at that time.
Chargers.
The I didn't know if they were in San Diego or LA, but just the Chargers. Underappreciated. And Andy Reid respected his work from going against him. He comes there on a 1-year deal, and Kansas City rewards him with a 3 or 4 year contract.
Mm-hmm.
But he was invested enough to start out playing in situations or situational like duty and on special teams, all for the betterment and being invested in Kansas City Chiefs. Why? Because they invested in him. So the way they go about their offseason and all that stuff is all for the Super Bowl. They're all invested in it. And that's the way it is. The way from how they deal with like maybe former players and all that. Everything is just airtight. Now I know they needed to upgrade their facilities and all that, but in their mind, that ain't a big deal because nobody cares about that.
Because guess what?
Rings. Right. They're taken care of physically. They're definitely where they need to be mentally. It's not like they're out there just eating like bread and water. So they're fine because they know at the end of the day, they're going to be playing long into the season, into the playoffs. And it makes it worth it every single year. So all the stuff that they go through, and plus Andy Reid runs in this day and age one of the hardest training camps.
Yeah,
it works out well. And when you have Patrick Mahomes, invested, how can you not be invested?
If that guy's invested, come on,
you can't. He's the best in the league. So if you ain't invested, you gone.
Deservedly so.
And there's a reason why some of them dudes at tackle are gone. Orlando Brown Jr. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, see ya.
Wanye Morris probably on the way out.
Hey, see, holla at a player. So you got to be in it. You got to be in it to win it. So that's how they're able to do it. We're going to take a quick break. Come back. We're going to dive in. I'm going to tell you how Buffalo is going to win when we win. And I'm going to tell you exactly who's going to be the big factor in winning.
Haley Steinfeld.
That might be it.
You got to counter Taylor Swift somehow. Haley Steinfeld, the moment is yours.
That's a battle. Yeah.
I said what I said.
Yeah, that's a battle. Yeah, I didn't even think of it like that. They up there, dudes, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce looking at each other like from the Hot Week Challenge. Look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought? Yeah, who would have thought? Anyway, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
What's going on, fans? This is Lex Rodriguez Rodriguez, 4-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, 4-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of 3.
Limitless Mail has redefined the little blue pill with our new ED trochees that melt in your mouth, delivering faster results so you can be spontaneous again. Once you try the Limitless Mail trochee, you won't go back to the little blue pill. Our trochees go right to the source through your bloodstream, leading to quicker, harder results. To experience the difference for yourself and your partner, schedule a free consult with the men's health experts at limitlessmail.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. Quick segment here. Then we get to 5 o'clock hour. We'll dive into big time into the college football championship. But real quick though, one thing on the Ravens, and we're going to get to your text about the Chiefs, and dive into this Buffalo game. I want to give it just due. What my Buffalo Bills are going to do to Kansas City, 3 hours away. What we're going to do, come down there and put your head to bed about 5:30 Sunday.
Right about.
Yeah. By 8 o'clock, your world's going to be over. But how Buffalo got there was a battle against Baltimore, and a lot has been said about Mark Andrews, right? And sometimes when you try to make a play, all you need to do is make the play. I don't fault him for cutting back and because everybody put the still shots up. He should have went. His momentum was going to the left. He was just trying to make a guy miss. Great play by Bernard. He had one other drop, but the crucial one was the 2-point conversion. I will tell you this, that Mark Andrews is definitely getting a minus in his grading, sheet, which he probably is not going to want to see ever again. And then so is Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson played pretty dang good after just having had that one unfortunate fumble.
Miscommunication on the pick, the fumble.
Right. But he shown his growth as a passer.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you this, if you're making $55 million, $55 million, and Mark Andrews is that open and you double clutch it, which also throws off his timing of catching it, and you throw a dart, like what I mean, he threw it like a dart. So when you throw darts, you're like this. That's how he threw it, and you throw it behind him. You're actually more at fault than him because you threw an uncatchable ball with bad timing, off target, off time.
In the biggest moment of the game.
In the biggest moment of the game. He was open forever. And don't try to go at Todd Monken and say it wasn't a good play call. It was open. It was open. You know what it was? It was kind of like the Illinois game. Don't talk about the play call. Don't talk about the personnel. We just need to catch the ball.
Yeah, hit it.
Yeah.
little better throw, a little better hands.
Right.
Different
And
result.
Mark Andrews needed to catch it.
He did. But then
Yeah.
Buffalo still had, 90 seconds to
I
make
like
something
our
happen?
chances. I like our chances, but everybody's going to talk about that because it's all about you didn't give a chance to tie it up. But Mark Andrews is obviously feeling very, very, obviously upset and stuff like that. Lamar Jackson, you need to put the ball in that case in a better position for him to make an easier catch. You threw it behind him in a slippery game, right? I'm sure his gloves and stuff were, exposed to the elements, wet and slippery or whatever, and you threw it behind him. And then more importantly, your jerseys get slick in those elements. That's what people don't understand. Your jersey, that's why tackling is so hard. And he ended up had an unfortunate drop, but it's fortunate for my Buffalo Bills. We'll see you next week, Kansas
You got
City.
exactly what you wanted, Jay. Well, not exactly.
This is exactly what we want.
Exactly what you wanted was Houston, right?
Oh, that would have been phenomenal. That would have been what I wished for. But what I want is Buffalo Bills coming down here to Kansas City and shutting up these fans.
Tell them.
I can't wait. You
got all week to do this, Jay. You got all week.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a nugget at the top of the 5 o'clock. Hey, look at your boy rocking out right there.
Oh, he's jamming.
Yeah, that's pretty
Let's go.
impressive. Yeah, warming
Happy
it up.
Monday.
Yeah. He probably, you know what? He just got the text that LPS is closing up.
Soft.
Anyways, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, we'll be right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through January 29th is $2 off bacon, $2 off summer sausage, and 20% off on crackers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey volleyball fans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies. It will be breezy and cold with an afternoon high of just 10. Tonight, mainly clear skies and a very cold night with a low of 8 below. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies, be breezy and warmer, the high near 26. I'm meteorologist Kyle, like 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
The Adam Carricker Show.
Like the present is exciting and the future is bright. Got a talented quarterback, now got an experienced quarterback, got his wide receiver coach that he wanted, D. Shorts from Kentucky. There's really no excuse for us to have a well above average passing game. You got your Corey Barney coming back. You look at Dane Key, 6'2", 189. You look at Isaiah Hunter, 6'2", 192. Hardly Gilmore from the transfer portal from Kentucky. He's the shrimp at 6'1", 165. I'm joking, of course.
Live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1. In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
5 o'clock hour, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School Crew this week while DP is out handling his business. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop. 4 locations, both 3 in Lincoln, 1 in Omaha. It is brisk outside. It's so cold outside, they cancel school tomorrow. So you know you can't grill. It take you an hour to get your grill right. And you ain't going to go and check your meat either.
No.
Now I know they have it like Bluetooth and all that, but it ain't worth it.
Bluetooth grills?
No, Bluetooth, like where you can put the thermometer in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The Bluetooth grill would be next level, but
I wouldn't imagine. I wouldn't put it past us in the future. But yeah. Anyways, for Buffalo, I will tell you this, and we'll get to the text here. I think the way that Buffalo wins, I think Josh Allen has to play a good game. And I think Buffalo has to be very steady on defense, and I think we have to win the kicking game. Harrison Buckner is obviously a really good kicker. I think he's still coming back from some injuries or from the injury earlier in the season. And so I think you need to put him in a situation to where, say he's going to kick a 42-yarder, make him kick a 47-yarder, and then hopefully he misses. But I think Buffalo has the ability with addition by subtraction, and this is nothing against Stephon Diggs. I actually think Stephon Diggs would actually do better in this type of mindset of offense, where it's an equal opportunity, commissioner, and not have to overfeed him based on his, present day ego of wanting a new contract, so forth and so on. But I think that Buffalo's ability to attack both horizontally and vertically with anybody and everybody, and they've all gotten better. And you have Amari Cooper, who's just waiting to have a breakout game. You got Knox and Kincaid. And then obviously I think that really the X factor is kind of like Houston. If we can get James Cook going consistently in the running game and pass game, it bodes well for us, because all we want to do is keep Patrick Mahomes over there thinking about eating some hot dogs or KC barbecue.
Kind of Boston Celtics-ish.
And then
from the Bills.
And then we got to hit him, though.
And make it count.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would just go up to him. I said, "Look, man, I know you Patrick Mahomes, but I'm telling you, man, if you going on the sidelines, I said, I promise you, I'm gonna hit you. And I'm gonna tell him, if I get a chance to hit you,
if you're the Bills conveniently run out of bounds, and hit him on the sideline,
I'm trying to blow you up.
No, I'm saying like when you have the ball on offense, you're getting pushed out of bounds, find Mahomes, and
I'm blowing you up. Listen, you come. No, I'm not stopping you from sliding. It's got to just be like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to blow you up. And Pachinko too.
Hmm.
Because he the party starter. I don't like that dude. I like him.
That's an ankle biter.
Because he
an angry runner.
Yeah, because he the type of dude he's stomping around. You got to settle him down.
When you think about like the punch of a stiff arm,
Yeah.
like you described it as a punch, but he's like actually like
punching you.
Boxing.
And then he like punching the ground. Yeah.
And enjoying it.
Yeah, you gotta get after him a little bit. I got a text here from 0420. He says, get yourself a Traeger. He can control his grill on Wi-Fi. I smoke meats 24/7, 365. Hey, Jake, Nick, you gotta go over to like the tractor store or Shields or somebody, get a brother a hookup or get a sponsorship on a Traeger. Yeah, a new one. Now we're gonna get into some Kansas City text right here.
You warmed up for this? You stretched? You limbered?
Hizzlebear says that your sphincter muscle gonna be tight all game long. He said lost to KC due to blown calls. This was crowbait. He may be entitled to compensation. That's like mesothelioma or whatever. Here we got 46-36. He said the refs are invested in Kansas City too. Some of that's true, and you know what? You get your own look. You get your own look. It's no different. It's own luck. Excuse me. It's no different when. Remember when Jordan and the Bulls were winning, and you were like, "Oh, that's a makeup call. That's a Jordan call. He's getting the benefit of the doubt," and that's just where they're at right now. So you got to beat them, and the only way to beat them is obviously be more invested. Chad and Seward. He says, "I'm an apologist Chiefs fan. I hate it, but I've always been since the Nigerian nightmare." Because that's a true fan right there. Chad and Seward, if you're still listening, what's the other big back that was there with them? I know it. Do you?
I'm not a Chiefs fan, so I'm not expected to know.
Well, you want to know? They had the two biggest running backs in the league who had the two biggest thigh pads. I remember I used to have him on fantasy football. His name was Barry Word.
Barry Word?
Yeah, I used to call him Barry Word up. He was number 23. They had him and Christian Okoye.
Oh, that is a big dude.
Yeah. And they had Harvey Williams
smokes.
at times and stuff. So I like the Chiefs, but they always just let me down, though.
You brought it up at a good time. DP's gone. That's a UVA guy.
Oh, Barry Word?
Mm-hmm.
We got John in Southeast Lincoln. He said he's got a cigar waiting after Buffalo takes care of business and the refs. Or the Chiefs and the refs.
Eastrick burning.
Yeah. Big Daddy Travis says the officials are paid by KC. Nobody can change my mind. Even Chiefs fans are starting to say it. Cheating Chiefs. You know it's bad when the Chiefs fans say something. Because Chiefs fans, I'm going to tell you what Chiefs fans are like. They're like these new age Iowa Hawkeye lady basketball fans. Since when Caitlin Clark was there. You guys are coming out, Iowa fans in general, coming out the woodwork here in Lincoln. The Chiefs fan. I mean, I know Kansas City is close. I know there's a fair amount of Denver fans. But and this happened with the Patriots. Let's also be just like fair. The Patriots even for that short run that they went to a couple Super Bowls where they had Grogan and Tony Eason who couldn't play dead, and then that was like a short stint. They had for the most part been pretty garbage until Belichick, and they were good under Parcells and that, but just in general over the life of the Patriots, they haven't been very good. They had a couple years, where they had a couple good teams, but then once they started winning, those Patriot fans became like new age, Patriot fans, and
the Celtics fans remember the Patriots existed, sort of thing.
Yeah, and then also when kids are growing up, they want to be, fans of the really, really good teams. No different if the Yankees and stuff like that. So
you just named Rico's entire fandom.
I know. I said that's
convenient.
Yeah, Rico.
Funny.
We're talking about you. Well, and that's fine. And then they were winning all the time, and they were dominating the league for 20 years. And so why not? I mean, you like it, and so that's where Kansas City is right now. Definitely respect them. I like Kansas City. I mean, I'm always joking. I hate that for Josh Allen, you got to deal with them, but you got to go beat them. And I think this is the year, honestly. I do think it's the year. And the great thing about it, it happens this year, kind of like it happened for Kansas City last year, that when nobody expects you to win that year, you do. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's what you need. And for instance, I wanted Kansas City to beat San Francisco. I know more things about the San Francisco organization, and inside that locker room, I was okay with Kansas City winning. You know what I mean? And I told you in trouble. They backdoored their way into a world championship, so the whole league is on.
Would it feel like if, let's say, Kansas City gets the three-peat done, first time in NFL history? I know you don't want to imagine that, but just hypothetically, would this year feel like a backdoor too, or are they earning this one?
It wasn't dominant. It was like it wasn't like they ain't like an all-time team.
No, is that's
a reflection of how bad some of the quarterbacks are in the league. That's how bad the league is that time.
Fair.
It is.
But did the Chiefs do themselves and their legacy a disservice by being so good early on? So explosive early on, right? Like, you never apologize for winning.
Because people keep going back to that.
Because think about the Brady thing, right? He did it almost the opposite.
Yeah.
And obviously his most explosive scoring offense in 07 lost to the Giants.
Right.
But think about Brady, game manager, defense, run game, Vinatieri early on. And then you start crediting Brady by the end, especially the Atlanta one, right? Coming back from down 28-3. By the end of his career, it was on Brady. Early, it was all on Mahomes. Now as the league's adjusted, it's become kind of the game manager in defense and kicking Super Bowls. And again, you never apologize for the rings. You don't give them back. But it's so interesting how kind of flipped the Brady and Mahomes narratives are right.
Yeah, and it's no different than when you look at the evolution of Jordan and then how LeBron came in the league. So LeBron's more like Jordan was the last 3 championships where he'll defer it to and he'll trust his teammates versus when those first 3 ones. He was on murder session.
Yeah.
I mean, they scored 98 points, Jordan 52.
Right.
So it's just the difference of when you come in the league, learning how to win and what you need to do. But it all starts with the combination of head coach and quarterback. And when you have that and a quarterback that's willing to come and light the league on fire, because Andy Reid knew he had a prime, Tyreek Hill, a even more prime of Travis Kelce. And then obviously you had other receivers that were, close to their prime in a young offense of line that was actually really, really dominant, more than they get credit for. And the defense was a little suspect, where they had to piece together like different players just to hope that they can make plays. Well, now it's the flip, where that defense has always been very, very young, and they're starting to mature, and now they're dominant, and they're really, really in tune with Coach Spag's system. Whereas the offense now has got to be where not second fiddle, but they have to use in-season trades. DeAndre Hopkins,
who only played 16 snaps against Houston
and didn't have a catch. He gonna get a catch. He gonna get a catch this week. I can promise you. They gonna get in because DeAndre's right up in there. So I didn't come here for this. Now, but you're okay when you win. But they're able to do that, right? Like the kind of defensive mentality early in Mahomes' career, to where now he can really, really grow, his mental side. But don't sleep. Don't think if they get fully healthy that Patrick Mahomes can't light you up for 300 or 400 yards. It's still there, and he showed it to you. He doesn't have to show it on a regular basis, just based on the maturation of the defense and the change and the defense catching up to it. You got to think that goes along with the other ace player, Chris Jones.
Yeah.
As Chris Jones started to be dominant, essentially Patrick Mahomes of that defense, then you got two-headed monster and you in trouble.
We really, I think, as a general football populace, have missed a lot of what Chris Jones has done. Right? He's kind of gone, not in terms of the antics, but full Draymond Green. Right? He's a 16-game guy. He's a 3-4 game guy. Good in the regular season. Had some Defensive Player of the Year moments. But as soon as the defense got good, it wasn't, oh, look at Chris Jones leading the charge. It's, oh, look at Steve Spagnuolo. Oh, look at the defensive backfield. Oh, look at them piecing together an edge rush. Like Chris Jones, with the retirement of Aaron Donald, might be the most dominant interior defender in the NFL.
Yeah, he's unstoppable
when he wants to be.
Yeah.
When he has to be.
Yeah, when he has to be. And he's pretty reliable and durable, and he's a guy that you got to account 2 or 3 blockers for.
Mm-hmm.
You try blocking one-on-one, unless you got a dude over there, you in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And what he can do is he can just disrupt everything that you do. Mm-hmm. And he makes big plays when you need him the most. He's consistently, showing up in big games, and he's a problem. And he's no different than Patrick Mahomes. And then everybody else feeds off him. And the other thing is you got Travis Kelce up there that, he looked, for him coming back, and he said midseason that he's got 2 or 3 more years in him, looked a little interested at times this year. I felt like probably he had a really good offseason because I think he's did some acting. I think that's why his hair is so long and stuff like that. Rightfully so. and it took him a little while to get it going. You know he was going to get it going now. So he knows how to crank it up, and he knows how to finish. He's just padding the stats and looking to add to more rings.
Flip side of that, what's got to be different for Buffalo this time? How does Buffalo finish the Chiefs? They've had leads. They've played some pretty decent football.
Situational football, clock management down the stretch, and also the emergence of James Cook. You get James Cook going, that controls the clock when you need to. You saw it against actually when Buffalo got the ball back against Baltimore. Big run. You're trying to get a first down to end the game. They got it on pretty much the first play with James Cook. So
does Josh Allen have to be superhuman or just out game manage Mahomes?
He's just got to make the plays that he needs to make, and then when it's time, it's cyborg time. I'm sorry, Chiefs fans. You're gonna see who everybody else has seen. I'm telling you, the loss last year to Cincinnati, I heard motivated them guys more than getting back to beat the Chiefs. They lost at home last year to Cincinnati.
Yeah,
a Super Bowl changing, or was it to the Chiefs? Remember, Diggs dropped the ball.
Yeah, that was against Cincy because it was the
Cincy.
Chiefs-Ravens last year in the championship game.
Yeah. So it was that right there. They felt like was their a chance, and then they were able to run it back. That's why they changed their whole philosophy. Stephon Diggs was gone there. I think it was against the Chiefs. I think it was.
Who did Baltimore beat then?
I think it was against the Chiefs. It was against the Chiefs last year at home. The Chiefs came to Buffalo, and remember Stephon Diggs, it was 70-some yard pass, and he went off right off his hands. And that would have been
yeah. Again, but kind of not an easy catch, but not a hard catch.
Austin, you making $30 million, you got to make that catch. That's a Hall of Fame catch right there.
Because that was 27-24 Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
At Buffalo. Yeah.
That right there puts you in the Hall of Fame.
The Ravens got the Texans. That's who it was.
Yep. And that gets you into the Super Bowl. So, anyways, Buffalo going to do what they need to do. But anyways, tonight, the college football, we're going to switch over to college football. It seems like you should be excited for this game. I want to ask you this, Austin. Do you think this 12-team playoff is too long?
As a fan, no. As a fan, I don't mind it. It is weird having games on Thursdays and Fridays and Mondays. I'm glad that Rich Clark and Roger Goodell are having conversations, but Goodell's going to say, screw you, we're bigger, we bring in more money, we make more money, so you will continue to work around us. I'm still a big fan of college football on Saturdays, and I wish the NFL would stick to Sundays. I really, truly do. But that's probably not going to be the case. I just don't know, Jay, having not been in that position, how it impacts a college guy's body versus an NFL guy's body, right? In the NFL, it's the grind. You're paid for it. I know you're getting to that point in college as well. If for some reason we're still sticking to our guns and academics matter, the season maybe is dragging on a little too long. It'd be nice to have it wrapped up before second semester starts, which I suppose technically it starts tomorrow for a lot of places. But some places, I guess, have already gone back. So if we're going to stick to academics mattering, maybe it's a little too long. Let's try to find a way to get it wrapped up by the new year, or at least by the time second semester starts. But if we're, throwing the academics baby out with the bathwater, it's fine. Like, I like having football on this long. More college football isn't necessarily a bad thing. And I think the way the playoff is set up needs to be tweaked, but the playoff itself is not a bad thing for college football.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little long, but I think you can remedy that by starting the season early. Moving everything up. And, I think the way that they cut back on the amount of practices you can hit and then the sports science, I think that, you'll be just fine. I just think it's a little bit tricky this offseason with going to 105 and the potential of 105, and you had the Title IX ruling. And so you got to really work out the red tape and the logistics before you can really think about, changing the schedule. But I think it's something that they need to work along with the NFL and let the NFL take the lead and then just make the best of it. Because I think the faster that you can work along with the NFL, it can be perceived as a breeding ground for the NFL.
Right. Especially if your season's going to be this long, where you're still going during the NFL season. As much as I hate the NFL, imposing on Black Friday and on to Saturdays, this is newer territory for college football than it is the NFL, right? Playing this long. So I can understand, at least in the playoffs, the argument of the NFL was here first. They maybe are used to having dibs on this time frame. And to be fair, the NFL is still bigger than college football. Obviously, college football is bigger in Nebraska with the Huskers and all of that. And there are plenty of college football markets. Tuscaloosa comes to mind. Athens, I'd be curious to see if that's more Falcons or more Georgia. But either way, there's a really good opportunity for college football not to become the next casualty of the NFL's 365, 24/7 cycle by not, submitting and saying, oh, yep, you're the overlord. We're underneath you. You tell us what works for you, and that's what we'll do. You got to stand up for yourself because you're a big product. You're a budding product. But you do have to kind of sell yourself in the NFL as this is a partnership. We are developing your next stars. So you have to present it almost to the NFL as help us take care of your next crop of guys.
Yeah. And I think there's a way to everybody be happy. And also you could learn something too, because it is pretty much like a mini NFL season. So it can be looked at as a positive for these players. We're actually really getting you ready for the grind that you're going to go through. And so then if you try to marry an NFL off season, but just to be a little bit different off schedule, change the portal and signing period, don't have it either before or after the draft and all that stuff, and have your mini camps outside of their mini camp dates, and so there's a block of dates that each NFL franchise can use. An amount of practices, you do the same thing, it'll be smooth sailing. And so then also the transition period or the acclimation period, for players going to the next level will be a lot easier. So we'll see what happens. But one thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, come back, and give our prediction for this game against Notre Dame and Ohio State here. About to kick off here in about an hour and 8 minutes. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies, and it will be breezy and cold with an afternoon high of just 10. Tonight, mainly clear skies and a very cold night with a low of 8 below. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies, be breezy and warmer, the high near 26. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman. DP is out of town. Old school crew. College football championship game tonight. Notre Dame. I'll call them Notre Dame. I'll be nice.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame. That's it. That's better. Against Ohio State. Look, man, it's two teams. I think that when it started, nobody expected them to be there. I mean, because I think Penn State probably had the easiest path, right? Oregon definitely had the hardest.
Yeah.
And then you figured Texas or somebody would come out through where they were doing. And especially the reason why I think that nobody thought they'd be there, no matter what Notre Dame did, even though they looked better going down the stretch, I definitely felt like I saw a little bit more edge at that USC game. But the fact that they lost to Northern Illinois, you could never, outrun that. They don't play in a conference. Are they really ready? They weren't overly explosive, but they were very, very good, and they got better each game. And then Ohio State, obviously, with the embarrassing loss to Michigan, being almost a 22-point favorite
at home.
And the way they lost, the flag planting and all that, and Ryan Day's job supposedly up in the air. But then they just came out of the gates, and they've been playing better and better each week. So you got the two teams that are playing the best right now. And so it's going to come down to, obviously, which team can be more composed. I think they're two very old teams, so you don't expect them to come out and just play scared. Two really, really aggressive teams. They had a really good game last year at Notre Dame at South Bend, where Kyle McCord was able to lead them on a 90-yard drive to win. And so they know each other. They respect each other. It's going to be a very, very competitive game. I think it's really going to come down to which team obviously takes care of the ball. That's obviously the biggest factor. But I think which team can establish the run game. Whoever can establish their version of the run game, more often and more efficiently will win this game.
Who do you trust to do that? Who do you think?
I'd probably say Ohio State. This version. The way that they're running the plays, the execution fits their personnel way better than what you saw actually all year. Even in the first Oregon game, they were running the ball, then they stopped running it.
Yeah.
And then also you got the ultimate equalizer with both receivers out there and a quarterback that's actually better than what people think. I trust Ohio State probably to get it going on the ground a little bit more.
And then the defense has to prevent the explosive runs, because
Right.
that to me is how Notre Dame's going to stay in this game.
Yep.
They feel a little bit like the Eagles, right? I think Hurts is a better passer than Riley Leonard relative to level. And obviously Saquon, right? He's different. But if Love is fully healthy, Price is a good kind of changeup. You have Leonard in the run game.
They got multiple backs in a quarterback that's like an equalizer.
Right. If Notre Dame, will they get a 98-yarder against Ohio State like they did against Indiana? Probably not. But if Notre Dame, they're really good in the red zone, but if they can even score from outside the red zone with an explosive run, Ohio State's defensive line is so good. Their linebackers have played pretty well. Their secondary, it's fine. It's good. I mean, Downs is a difference maker, But to me, I just don't see a path for Notre Dame offensively unless it hits on a couple big runs to either get the ball rolling or to just punch it in for 6.
Yeah, they're going to need to get a couple explosive runs just to keep the momentum. That's the most important. You get what I mean by the momentum is like, that's their version of big play. So your explosive run might be, in the sense of a 12 to 15-yard runner. Now, getting a 60-yard runner, they definitely will take that. But I'm going to tell you also an X factor for this game for Notre Dame. And it's going to come by the way of Riley Leonard, but it's going to be either or, these two names right here. And it's going to be Mitchell Evans, right? Who's he's one of their tight ends, I think. Or Jordan Faison. Now, which one of those guys gets off is going to lead it? Because that's where you can attack Ohio State, right? They have athletic linebackers, not very fundamentally sound in the pass game. That's what Michigan did.
Yeah.
Hit you with the short area pass just to keep the chains going.
And Notre Dame's good at that. They don't go backwards, and they're pretty successful on a per play basis. They're just not explosive.
Yep. And for Marcus Freeman to go against his former, obviously his alma mater.
Who's the better coach in this one?
Oh, probably Ryan Day, just by experience. By experience. But I think with when you look at Mitchell Evans, right? He's from Ohio. 6'5", 260. He's Notre Dame is tight end you with Penn State and everywhere, right? So he's going to be able to block, try to set the edge. He's in for a big game against Jack Sawyer. But if he can make timely first downs, and what I mean by timely, I call them gut punching first downs. It's 3rd and 6, and he gets 6.5 or 7. Where he gets hit at 5 or 4 or 5, and he's able to get that extra.
And he was probably the 3rd or 4th option.
Yep, 3rd or 4th option late. Riley Leonard doesn't fully extend it, maybe shows his pocket presence, steps up, gets it to him because the linebacker comes up. Now that 5 or 7 yard first down turns into a 12-yard pass play. Yep. And let alone if you're in a cover 1 or a too high look, now you're able to, that's your explosive play. So those are plays that should be minimal gains that Riley Leonard in their short area passing game or timely passing game do a really, really good job of exploiting guys, and obviously Mitchell Evans is a big part of that. But then also don't sleep. They challenged Penn State's corners. Penn State felt like they could play man to man, and most of the time they were doing really well. But they hit them with the Ginsus, with the double move and take it. So if I'm Ohio State, I'm making Notre Dame beat me. Nothing cheap, nothing deep, because I know I can outlast you.
Texas got some work done with the running backs in the passing game too.
Yep.
Let's not forget Blue had a big game in the receiving department as well. And I think Texas, they think they more consistently use their running backs in the pass game. But if you're Notre Dame and you've had 10 days essentially, not a little bit more than a full week of prep, you see what Texas did to Ohio State's linebackers in the pass game.
Yeah,
and you manipulate the heck out of those guys.
And that was a big part of Texas all year.
Yeah.
So also you have to be careful of what we talk about all the time is falling in love with somebody else do, and you don't have the personnel, the offensive schematics to do it. So you have to do it your own way and maybe be more like timely with it, because you don't have those two type of running backs that Texas have, and Texas doesn't have Love either. No. So you have to just take it the way you can. But I'm telling you really what they can do, and it's a different version. And I always talk about this for me as a linebacker or as a former linebacker, actually. And if I was a running back, this is one thing I would do. And I'd talk to my quarterback and my offensive coordinator about this. When you check release against these two type of outside ends, pass rushing and an interior guys as well, and you're checking release. So what check release means is if I check release the defensive end with the right or left tackle or the tight end, I'm actually going to be actively doing it every single time, because as much as running backs look alike, linebackers look for bodies as well. So if I'm in a cover 3 drop, cover 4 drop, a 6 drop, or 8 or whatever, hook drop, deep hook drop, and the farther I get away from the line of scrimmage, actually allows for that safety net for Riley Leonard to drop it off to the running backs. And that's how you get to Texas, what they're doing. So you don't have to run. So Texas, what Austin is talking about is they're able with their running backs to split them out there motion them, run actual routes with them, right? Because they're really that's
some angles, some wheels,
and that's what Sarkisian wants. Well, you don't need to do that because you don't really do that in your offense. But what you can do is help out the tackles with the new redshirt freshman starting at left tackle, I think, and he's going to need some help. And then obviously create space in these zones that Jim Knowles like to play. Then you get to go one-on-one with them. So it doesn't matter the route. You just want the result.
Right.
And so if you're able to do that on a consistent basis, and then that's how you can become explosive down the field, then you get the linebackers that bite up, and then you're able to hit them over the top. So we're going to see it's look, it's going to be a battle of coaching staffs and who's able to kind of get into their groove early. You expect Notre Dame to start faster maybe than they did against Penn State, but then also, Notre Dame has done a really good job of making adjustments. But ultimately, I think, Ohio State, just got some more talent, and they seem like a team on a mission. And, quite frankly, they should beat Notre Dame.
I'm with you. I just think there's too many weapons on both sides of the ball for Ohio State. I do want to go back to what you said about not getting, too far in love with what someone else did. Jeremiah Smith had, one catch for 3 yards against Texas. Wasn't a huge factor against, I guess Oregon, he played pretty well, but it was mostly Tate and Igbuka. Notre Dame loves their man-to-man defense. They will leave Watts as the eraser, as that cover one safety.
But
sometimes,
you can with all those dudes.
But here's the thing. Notre Dame's not going to go heavy zone. That's not who they've been. It's not who they're going to be.
Live and die with it.
But that's what I'm saying. Are you going to live with your defensive game plan that got you here? Or we've been asking, at least I've been asking this for Nebraska men's basketball. Can you do 85, 90% of your base stuff? And then can you pick out the right 10% of the moments to throw out that changeup? Will Howard has not thrown an interception against man all year. Because why? 3 dudes to throw to. 3.5 dudes.
Yeah, you can't go in there and just line up and wave your hands and
it's not going to work for 60 minutes.
It ain't going to work at all. You get blown out.
Those corners are good, though. Like,
Austin.
The receivers are good and the corners are good. I'm trying to give Notre Dame a little credit for the defense.
Right, I'm telling you this right now. You play man-to-man for 60 minutes against number 4, he will have 1,000 yards.
That'd be impressive.
No, I mean, literally, we'll have 300 yards. You can't cover him man-to-man. And then I'm going to tell you also with the X factor. We talked about Evans over there. I'm going to tell you who's going to have a good potentially have a good game. I think it's Scott, their tight end for Ohio State. Here's why. Notre Dame's linebackers are slow. They play hard. They slow. They'll hit you. They'll play hard. They ain't athletic. Scott's athletic. So if I'm Will Howard, if I want to soften you up when you do play zone, I'm going to somebody you don't even think of. He the 4th, 5th option.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know you're worried about Henderson coming out of the backfield. I know you're worried about, obviously, Smith and all those guys and Tate and all the receivers. We'll go to this tight end, former 5-star tight end. Take that with you. It's all it takes is twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so it's going to come down to which quarterback is going to you know what these games really come down to, to be honest with you, and you mentioned it with Ohio State against Oregon. What 3rd or 4th option steps up and plays like the 1st or 2nd option? And that's on offense, defense, or special teams. So some defender on either team is going to have to play special tonight. You want to do that every night, but you know who the known characters are.
Yeah.
So what linebacker for Ohio State is going to be fundamentally sound and make a big play in the passing game? What linebacker or safety or defensive lineman, undersized or not, is going to wreak havoc on Ohio State tonight? Is going to have a game tonight. That's who's going to win. Whatever those guys are that rise to the occasion. Because let's just assume all the stars play. Leonard, Howard, everybody plays a good game, right? Respectable game. Then you get a special game from Love and Jeremiah Smith. The win's going to come into one of those guys we mentioned. That's who's going to win it. And that's what happened, when we were here, whether it's, Jamel Williams safety, Farley, or whoever it is, you got to get it done. You got to play the fumble recovery by Ralph Brown, and then it led to another, then we score and then we come out and score again. Game, set, match.
Over.
Yeah. Shevin Wiggins, doing his thing. Kenny Cheatham had big. So when you get those guys that step up and play higher than they had or to another level than they normally have, that's where championships are won.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of those moments for these 3rd or 4th options, it might not be in the 4th quarter. it might be one of those gut punches, right? Do you keep the other offense off the field? Do you keep the other defense on the field? Do you get 15 yards instead of 10 on third and long, something like
ball
that?
that keeps the drive going, and then you bust
shoestring
the
tackle, whatever it is. That might be the first or second quarter. It doesn't necessarily mean second half or games on the line.
A big pass breakup in a simplest thing when you watch, like where you make the extra play, right? Where say like, and you always see this in the NFL in more than obviously the pros because you really play a lot more complex coverages. Well, you'll have sometimes a safety that'll play half the field, center field turn, and get all the way out there, and then they try to run a sideline route, or whether it's a 9 route, and he makes a play on it.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. You have to play. You have to do your job and then go play football. So if you can do that, and whoever does that on obviously on a more consistent basis throughout the whole game and make the plays you're supposed to make, it could come down to, a punter really having 2 really good punts inside the 20. That coffin corners against the explosive, just so you don't let Ohio State get going. Or you get a big return, right? Or something like that. That's all you need to do is make the plays that you can. And then, step up when time is called. Don't go out there and try to say, it's about me. It's about us. And then when it's about us, you'll make the plays because everybody's going to, pull their weight tonight.
This is what you say. It's like 11 individuals playing their best game collectively.
Yeah. You operate individually, think collectively at all times. And we'll take a quick break and come back and, we'll talk about what's going on in them locker rooms right now, because that's where it's fun. That's where it's fun. And I'll talk
Marcus Freeman's giving the better speech, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he got a crunk there
That's what I'm saying.
Penn State. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But it's not about speeches; it's what you're thinking about when you're in your individual locker. It's a special moment. Anyways, Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through January 29th is $2 off bacon, $2 off summer sausage, and 20% off on crackers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes. Feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, old school on this championship Monday. We're back, and let me see, about 41 minutes. Probably ain't gonna get started. Probably another 50 minutes because you got the national anthem and commercials and stuff like that. But still, you're in the locker room right now. You know, one of the things is I was fortunate enough to be on 3 championship teams, and obviously, you know, the first one was significantly different than the last one. You know, getting ready for it. These guys have, you know, every bowl game essentially is win or go home. So they've been through this process before, but this is different because you always kind of felt like if we win this game, we got another one. Well, there ain't no tomorrow. This is it. And some of these guys are seniors coming back, super seniors. Obviously came back and took a chance, you know, went through the grind. And you're thinking about a lot of things. You're thinking about where you came from, how it started. Then obviously you're thinking more importantly about the game, what you got to do and getting into the moment. So you're really, you know, I will tell you this though, getting ready for a game is a very unique process. Because if you don't think you have doubt, you do have doubt. I'm telling you right now, you do. And you are like, all right, I know I'm good. Then you're like, well, what if I don't play good? Oh no, bump that. I'm playing good. And so the process is this, and you know, you gotta like squeeze the doubt and feed the faith. You gotta squeeze the doubt and feed the faith. And then as you get going, then obviously the nerves and all that. But it's a process that you gotta get ready. Because you know, if you go out there and just have your head in the sand and act like you going against somebody that can't knock your head off, you're gonna get your head knocked off. So you gotta really be you gotta prepare for everything. You gotta play the game in your head probably 50 times or situations 50 times. And then you gotta get to, you know, obviously probably a place of like being probably a psycho or whatever you want to call it, that you gotta go out there. But by the time you get ready to go out to the game, there is no doubt.
Could you tell in your locker rooms who was ready to go and who wasn't in these big games?
Yeah, and you don't
like you're worried about you.
First, but that's already kind of determined by how you handle business before.
Sure.
Just getting ready for the game is excitement, and you wish you could play the game out there where, you know, I wish the game went like these big games. Ideally, we win 70-something, nothing. I got 25 tackles. I got 2 interceptions. That's not going to happen.
It's not how it goes.
Right. And so, but then once you get into the game playing, then it's like, oh, yeah. Then it's like you're home. But getting there, because for me, you know me all. I'm ready to get
you're out of bed. You're
right. Yeah, let's go. And so you got to wait. You don't want to be too excited. You want to try to play it cool, but then you want to be in the moment. And then you think about all the other stuff. You think, there's a million things that go through your mind. But then as you start to get closer to the game, as they are right now, things start to become really, really clear.
Were there any players, whether it's in Nebraska or in the NFL, that you looking like, I don't know if he's going to be ready to go, lights flip on, balling?
Oh, just a few. I mean, you can just tell. I mean, some guys' approach to the game are just a lot different. So you always, and then you got to respect everybody's space and stuff like that. But there's some guys you like, he ain't ready to go. Like, I mean, I saw guys were scared to play against like Jason Taylor, and I never understood that. Like, when I'm going up, when I went up against Kevin Gogan, I know he's a bad dude. I know, I know who Kevin Gogan is.
Yeah,
but I ain't gonna be scared.
He's about to know who you are.
I'd like to think that he probably don't remember me, but he probably still laughing about it. He's drinking it like a six. He ain't drinking a 6-pack. He drinking a case of beer, telling his buddy because he lived on a farm or something. Like, yeah, this little big mouth rookie was running his mouth. He's like, I gave him the shocker into his ribs, dropped like a bag of potatoes. That's how he remembers me. He don't remember my name, but yeah, I mean, when you're playing against good players, you gotta, you just gotta go. You gotta earn it.
Is it true that it's that split second of on the field hesitation that gets you get?
Oh yeah, any doubt, any hesitation. That's what the one thing I learned in these big games is, and I learned this actually with playing with Jason Peter and how he was able to be so dominant. He went through a string of, he ran through like Benji Olsen and Olin Cruz. He ran through these dudes. I was like, man, this dude like, I look at him like, this dude like Howie Long out here. Like, I can't make no plays. He making all the damn plays. You know what I'm saying? And then like Chris Neoli. He was killing everybody. You know what I mean? And so the thing that he did and Grant and those guys did and Farley did that I grew to appreciate and then obviously start to, help me out was we dictating the pace. It's on. Like, there's no hesitation. We're coming straight at you. And we're throwing the first punch, every punch in between, and the last punch. And in these type of games, it's just like basketball. You see I was watching a basketball game, and you're supposed to be nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But
nervous and scared aren't the same thing.
No, they're not, but they look the same. To the naked eye, they look the same. Scared is somebody that cowers towards the competition. You can just tell. But if you don't know what to look for, it looks the same as being nervous. But the way that I always try to tell players or coach players through it, let's get all that kind of nervous, that good nervous and anxiety out of our system. Let's attack warm-ups. Let's attack each other in, like, in our case, group work. Yeah. And when we're going through, like, when they're running through plays, let's get after it.
Attack.
Let's get the headgear. I want to get some headbutts in because I don't want no surprises when I'm out there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I get hit, right, exactly, right. I do not want to. Right, I don't want to, because what you don't want right here. I'm gonna tell you this right now, and there will be some players on either side doing this. You don't want to walk back to the huddle like, dang, I don't know if I was ready for that. Right?
Right.
You want to welcome the contact. You want to welcome the heat. And then once you get into the game, it's just like now you got to catch your second win too. And so by getting all that
hot Atlanta,
getting that like anxiety out of your system early, that allows you to catch your second win faster. And that's where you see some teams like play a little tight early, and then they get in the second, third quarter, they're playing at the same level with the team that they perceived in their mind was better than them. And then that's why you don't want to run out of time. When we've seen that a lot of times with prior staffs, we're like, well, they started to make a run towards the end of the game. Well, you got to get started earlier. Yeah. Well, let's get this party started. We coming out of that locker room. We ain't heating up. We coming out on 1,000. And then we can tailor it back after that. So that's the difference of playing in these type of games. Who can do that, more readily, but then also that's where your depth comes in, right? And then the players that come in that are situational players, rotational players, there's no drop off, right? So this is why when I talk about you got to be invested, the whole team got to be on 1,000 in their own way. And so whoever has done that, but it's a unique process. I'm telling you, you have to starve the doubt, feed the faith. Austin.
Starve the doubt, feed the faith.
And you know what? That's a theme for today. Martin Luther King and all that. You know what I mean? You got the inauguration and you got the champion. You've got to starve the doubt and feed the faith. You know where I got that from?
Bud Grant?
Nope.
Tom Osborne?
Nope. I got it from
Coach Sam.
No, nobody associated
yourself.
With football. No.
It's inside you the whole time.
No. I got it from when I was a young kid in Frederick, Maryland, with my grandfather. We used to be able to watch championship boxing on the weekends. Marvin Hagler, and they had his thing, and he was running up there in the snow, and he had a hat that said "War," and that's what he was running and saying "War," and that's what he'd tell himself. And I never forgot it.
Pretty hard.
And I used to talk to myself and say it. So I'd talk to myself though. Literally be talking to myself when I was going.
Out loud or in your mind?
Both.
Love it.
Just
love it.
Just having a full
The
conversation.
good psycho you were talking about.
But the funny thing is, with Bryce Fisher, I played with in Buffalo, and it was before my first start, and I literally was talking to myself from the locker room all the way to the game, and he was like, "Who are you talking to?" I was like, "Me." It was the best conversation I had. Hey, and that was I was definitely nervous. There was some scared in there too, because I was like, I gotta go. There's no turning. Finally, like, there's no turning back. And then I just said bump and ran out there. So hopefully it's a good game tonight. Somebody's gonna be crowned the first one in the playoff in Major College Football. So we'll see. But for us, we're signing off till Wednesday. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School. We'll holler at you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100, and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555.